A Gallup study found that entrepreneurs who use their strengths daily are 6 times more likely to be engaged. And I'll tell you this, they're more likely to succeed long term. So, if you're trying to build a side hustle to leave your 9 to 5, here is the real question you should be asking. What type of business actually fits who you are? That's what we're going to unpack today. And I'll show you even how my strengths don't exactly scream CPA, but help me build this business instead. Step 1, why self-awareness? Most people pick a side hustle because they saw it on YouTube or their cousin's friend said, man, that's easy money. But here's the truth. If you build a business that doesn't match who you are, you will burn out. But if it is aligned with your natural strengths, you won't just stick with it, you'll stick with it longer. You'll grow it faster and enjoy it more. And no, you don't need a business degree or 10 years of experience. You need to know how you're wired and how that wiring connects to business models that work. Let me show you mine. I took Gallup StrengthsFinders 2.0, and here are my top 5. Futuristic, I'm always thinking ahead, dreaming about possibilities. Strategic, I naturally look for the best way forward, spotting patterns fast. Positivity, I bring enthusiasm and energy, even when things go sideways. I'm a woo, I love winning other people over. I'm an activator, I don't wait, I get moving now. Now tell me, does that sound like a traditional CPA? No, it doesn't, right? Most people think a CPA is all spreadsheets and solitude, and while I am good at numbers, what I'm really drawn to is helping people see what's possible and guide them into creating a plan, firing them up to actually take action. That's why I built Firewatch Business, to help build side hustlers up to get a clear mind of their goals and actually follow through on it. Now here's a story that really brings this home. I worked with a gentleman who worked as a director of operations for a franchisee of a national fast food brand. He was great at it, high performing, responsible for multiple locations, tons of experience. But when the franchisee sold their stores, he had to find a new job. So he interviewed with another national brand. They gave him a personality assessment during the process of interviewing. And here's the kicker. Even though he had all that experience in the world, his results didn't match the profile they were looking for in a manager. They passed on him. Not because he wasn't capable, because he didn't fit their mold. And that's why this stuff matters. You don't know your strengths, someone else will decide if you're not a right fit, even if you got the resume to prove otherwise. That's why we do it for Firewatch Business. We help you find a new way for yourself so you're not reliant on other people. You're reliant on yourself. So when you understand your wiring, you can build something that fits and thrives. So what about you? What are your top strengths? Do they match the path you're on? So now you've gone and got your personality results, or at least you're thinking about how you're wired. The next step is to use that information to your advantage. I do want to break down a few common personality types to show you the kinds of businesses typically fit well in those strengths. We're going to talk about the visionary, big picture thinker, common traits, futuristic, strategic. They love ideas, planning, and new possibilities. Business fits for them are online education like courses, coaching, YouTube channels, strategy consulting, or fractional executive roles in tech startups or something building in a business. You thrive, the visionary does, when you can create something long-term. But be careful, don't get stuck in the planning forever. Pair up with someone who executes or builds systems that will make it move easier. Another common one is the helper, empathizer. So they're empathy, they're a relator. The helper cares deeply about others, listens well, and is motivated by service. Business fits for this person is someone coaching, life, fitness, parenting, therapy, or mental health, or adjacent services like event planning or hospitality-focused business. Nonprofit ventures are good. You can build loyalty fast. Your challenge, though, is charging what you're worth and setting boundaries. But when you own your value, you can build something powerful. We'll talk about the doer, the action-oriented hustler. The common traits are activator and high energy. You love movement and progress. Business fits or sales-based business such as real estate, insurance, affiliated marketing flipping or reselling. The gig economy is also good, like pressure washing, mobile detailing, event-based businesses such as DJing, catering, photography. You're great at getting started, but you'll need systems and support to sustain momentum and avoid burnout. Let's talk about the organizer. Process lover. They're disciplined, deliberative. This person loves details, process, and doing things the right way. Business fits, maybe a CPA, bookkeeping, tax prep, virtual assistant, inventory-based businesses, technical support. Your edge is reliability and depth. You may overthink, so find accountability and downlines to help you launch. Look, these are starting points, not a cage. You can succeed in almost anything, but the business that fits your wiring is going to feel more natural, more fun, and more sustainable in the long run. Now let me show you how this plays out in the real world. And I'm going to show you a real example. I'm going to start with me, and then I'll introduce you to a couple of friends of mine to give you a little bit more understanding and clarity. I'm Jason, futuristic, strategic, positivity, woo activator. I'm a CPA, but I never really fit the traditional mold. Most accountants are detail-oriented, risk-averse, and prefer structure. Me, I'm constantly dreaming about the future. I thrive in strategy. I love people, and I like to move. And that's why I started DJing weddings on the side. It gave me energy. It let me connect with people. And now I've launched Firewatch Business. It was when everything clicked. I could take all my planning and energy and use it to help others take action to achieve their dreams. My business is built around who I am, not who a CPA is supposed to be. And that's why I love doing it. I want to tell you about Sarah. Sarah the helper. She's highly empathetic, highly relatable. She was working in HR, but always felt emotionally drained in the corporate setting. After taking StrengthsFinder 2.0, she saw her top strengths were empathy, connectedness, and developer. So instead of trying to fight her nature, she leaned into it. She launched a coaching business helping moms re-enter the workforce after maternity leave or after a break from working. She now runs group programs and one-on-one sessions, and her business is flourishing because she plays to her strengths. Now I want to tell you about Marcus. Marcus is an organizer. He is super analytical. He's high discipline, consistent, deliberative on StrengthsFinder. He tried drop shipping and he hated the chaos. So we worked together to align his strengths, and now he offers back-end system setup for other business owners. He builds CRMs, automations, standard operating procedures. He's even delving into AI automation. He's not the face of the brand, but he's the engine behind multiple six-figure solopreneurs. And he loves it because it's all order, it's all logic, it's clean. These three couldn't be more different, but they all found their lane by understanding how they're wired and choosing a business that fits. And when your business fits, you're not just working, you're building freedom. I do want to say this, and something one of my mentors focused on and told me repeatedly was this Bible verse: whatever you do, work with all your heart as working for the Lord, not for human masters, Colossians 3:2. We must do this if we are still in our 9-to-5, working toward our freedom in our side hustle. Okay, so by now you should be thinking, here's who I am, here's what I am naturally good at, and here's the kind of business that feels right for me to start. But how are you going to move from ideas to actually choosing something and moving forward? Well, I'm glad you asked. Listen, filter out the business ideas by your strengths. List out 3 to 5 businesses that interest you, and then ask which one of these uses my strengths every day. Which one fits my energy? Am I more social or am I more behind the scenes? Which one matches my long-term vision? Not what just sounds good now. If it's not a yes to at least 2 of those questions, it's probably not the right fit. You got to consider your reality too. Take some stock in the situation. Are you a full-time parent with 10 hours a week? You need something lightweight to start? Maybe you have a little cash to invest, but not much time. Look for leveraged models like content creation or digital products. You already have a network or audience? That can give you a shortcut. Now, you gotta test drive it. You don't need a 5-year plan to get started. Pick one, test small, and see how it feels. We talk about that in our video about the 10 customer tests. The link is on the screen and in the description. Start freelancing, build one offer, try one weekend gig. What you learn by doing will clarify what fits even more than just planning it out. Talk to people and see how they react. After the 30, 60 days, ask yourself, am I energized by this? Am I growing? Am I using my strengths? Or am I constantly fighting against them? If it's a mismatch, pivot. You're not failing, you're refining. Now, the biggest mistake is trying to pick the perfect idea before you even start. Instead, choose the idea that fits best for you right now and trust that clarity comes through action, which it does, because it will. By doing it and refining your offer, learning what your customers want, you're building what makes your product special. This will discover how you will stand out in the niche you've decided to compete in. The more you refine and know your customers, your side hustle will grow into a small business. I talk about this in the video on how to find your unique selling proposition. If you want to learn more about that, you can click on this video now. It's in the description too. Keep on hustling.